Okay, so I'm back with a partner's son in the partner's 11th house. Y'all know what I mean. That synastry, that compatibility. Well, hey, here we go with, this is where we bring homie, lover, friends to the forefront. Okay? Because this particular pairing could definitely feel like friends. They could feel like friends, depending on what else is in the synastry chart for these two. They can feel more of like that bond, a friendship bond, than emotional. It's not always emotional. They can hang out together. They can be really authentic with each other. Because they could come from a place of really trying to understand the other person. And, if you really think about it, forming a friendship with somebody versus a romantic relationship, you'll notice that friends can have the tendency to be more authentic with each other than sometimes spouses are. A friend may tell each other or share information with each other that they won't share with their mate, the person that they're in a relationship with. So that's like these two. Like, they can communicate very well. They can talk. They can be open with each other. It's less likely they're going to be judgmental over, little flaws and hiccups here and there with the relationship. It's a very lighthearted, friendly encounter. Like I said, unless there's just other aspects that changes the dynamic to that. All in all, this is a relationship based on a mutual friendship. Okay? There can also be an unpredictable feeling to it because of the detached nature that they approach the relationship with. Because let's go back to the whole friendship dynamic. People are going to place more stricter rules and, and needing to be together with a relationship, like a romantic relationship partner versus just a regular friendship. People tend to be more freer with their interactions with their friends. Their friends could be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to call you next week. I'll call you tomorrow when I wake up, when I come back from the store. In a romantic relationship with somebody, you may not say, hey, I'm going to call you next week, or I'm going to call you tomorrow when I wake up, or when I decide I'm going to come back from the store. Because your partner may be like, wait, what? Next week? You better talk to me every day. So here with this particular synastry, it could be, an unpredictable pattern when relating to each other. And there's definitely a detached feeling here. A detached feeling, because it's taking on an independent nature. Like, here you have to be okay with yourself. Like, you have to be okay. Each person will have to be okay with having an independent partner. These two people have to be okay with recognizing and becoming independent. I feel like, the best word to use for these two is having like an interdependent relationship where you're okay to do things on your own. You can do things on your own, even sometimes when it comes to handling your own emotional needs, and, you're not so attached to each other, but at the same time, you can come together, like you could conversate, you could compromise even, you can meet each other's needs. But at the same time, it's like you each have this understanding that, listen, this is what I do. I like to have my free time, and vice versa. So this pairing can definitely be that couple that represents an interdependent relationship. Okay? So, but let's see on whose side would this interdependence or this independence fall on the most? Because, just enough for one person to be happy with it, but the other person to kind of feel like, you know, they need more attention and they need more interaction, like a closer interaction with their partner. Okay, so for one, the sun person could feel like the house person is not really giving them the attention that they want and that they need from a romantic partner, because remember, the sun is the attention getter. The sun loves to be noticed for their qualities and their personalities and the way that they do things. An 11th house person could just be fine and content with knowing that they have the sun person, that they're in a relationship with them. Because yes, they're going to feel like the 11th house person is going to feel like being in a relationship with the sun person is like great, because they have company, they have somebody to spend their time with, you know. As a matter of fact, the 11th house person feels like, hey, you know what? When the sun person doesn't need to be bothered or feel like they want their time alone, I'm going to give them their space. And they're able to give the sun person space, but the problem is that the sun person could feel like sometimes that it's the house person is giving them a little bit too much space, and they want to feel needed or wanted. You know, they may want to have like the heated interaction, the passion, you know, the attention, all of that. And it could cause them to kind of pull away. Now, don't get me wrong. This definitely can show a situation where there's like this friends with benefits, because it just has that vibe. We don't have to see each other all the time. I'm not going to be all up on your, you know, in your space and on your back or whatever. You know, we playing it cool. So it's like, when I see you, I see you. It can have that vibe play out. And that's definitely like the friends with the benefit vibe. And this is, trust me, this is good for two people that likes that type of relationship, to where it's like that friend hangout cool feel, you know. But other placements can add to the romance. If you know what I'm saying? Like if you need it with this placement, like other placements that you have in compatibility with the other person can add to the romance. It definitely can. And this would make this like a really, like an entire complete picture, a complete relationship with the romance, but the friendship dynamic too, that relationships I feel like need, especially in this day and age. Because when it's all said and done, it would be absolutely great to be with someone that's okay to say, listen, you know what, like, I'm not going to break up with you just because every little thing doesn't go my way, and just because, you know, you need some, you know, a little bit of space or some time to do your own thing or whatever. I'm like, that's not how our relationship is going to end. But here, if it's a dynamic to where, because of that, it can form a pretty tight and close relationship. Like, it can be very hard to get rid of this person. Even when you break up and you start being with other people, it could be the situation to where you introducing your spouse, like your new boo, to this old thing. Like, you bringing this old thing up in conversations with the new boo, and like the people that you get your new boo ain't really feeling that, because they're like, okay, so what is it about this person that you act like you can't let go of in your life? Because you can even get the request from the new boos to let go of this friendship with 11th house Synastry, and you might even tell these people that you're in romantic committed relationships with, like, I'm not going to be able to do that. Or you tell them that you would, but then they find out like you're still friends or associated in some type of way, you know, because you value the relationship and the person, and you don't feel the need to throw all of that away just because you come across a new situation. You know, that's there. And because of that type of connection, I feel like this compatibility is, even though I don't think people give it enough credit, having a friendship, a basis of friendship in your foundation is a fabulous way to have a relationship. Like, y'all can hang together, y'all can roll together, y'all homies. Y'all are just like friends. Y'all can be the best of friends, you know? And this is the thing, you can meet in friendship circles, interactions online, meeting online, interacting online, in friendship circles, in like affiliations. Okay, so this could be a situation like friends that become lovers and they knew each other, or they have the same friend circles or the same affiliations, and it could be kind of, I don't want to say taboo, but it could be kind of like odd sometimes, depending on who the affiliations and the friendship circles are. That could definitely be there, and then sometimes a house person could feel like the sun person doesn't really value them in the relationship, because it's like, well, nothing that I ever do is enough to you, and I'm just trying to give you what you need. I feel like if you want space, I'm trying to give you space. I'm trying to show you like an unconditional love here, and the house person can feel like they don't really know what the sun person wants, and this can go vice versa. So it just depends on what your feel is, like what you need in a relationship. Because like I said, if there's other emotional contacts, it could really bring this whole thing full circle, this whole relationship full circle. High compatibility, friends first, but friends and lovers or whatever. And if it's not, it can make this more of a distance thing. Like, it's less about the romance and more about like the interactions with each other, as far as, do they respect each other? Is there mutual agreements, being able to communicate and just hang out or whatever. And some people feel like they need more than that. So it just depends. I think it's a great compatibility or great synastry to have in a relationship, period. All right. So this has been Sun in the Partner's 11th House Synastry, and I'm Butterfly to Light. See you next time.